Hey y'all, I'm back. Long time no see. Your girl's been busy. Yeah, actually I filmed another video in like the time that I haven't posted, but it was mad long and I honestly was not making sense. But I was making some points, but then sometimes I would just be like, and I don't know what was happening. So she deleted that. She definitely deleted that. But I'm back now. But you are now looking at Baltimore City's Youth Poet Laureate. So at least, you know, I did something. Anyway, today I'm finna, alright, so last year on Pride, I thought I was really pulling a look. Like I thought it was gonna be flames for real. It wasn't. If I can find a picture somewhere, I'll put it in here. But that's because I was rushing, you know. Today, we're gonna rectify that situation. We're gonna do the look, and we're gonna do it to a T. And we're going to do it drag style, baby. Because I can't disappoint myself again. So yeah, we finna be getting up in drag and doing the look. I'm gonna use them and we're gonna see how it turns out. Alright. I don't know what was going on with my glue stick, so I had to do something off camera. Anyway, so I'm gonna just go according to the list that we had planned out. Cause you know, it takes a village. Basically the first thing was, right. So a lot of times, like, and I know like certain pages, you know, they're going to be geared towards people who like to just say whatever and stuff like that, but at the same time, people in real life, you know, the stuff people are saying on the internet, they really mean. And you know, sometimes y'all be sounding a little I'm gonna say uninformed, misinformed, confused. Yeah, that's better. So for example, right now with the Black Lives Matter movement and all of that, there are a lot of people, not a lot, I'm not gonna say a lot because there's a lot of people on both ends, but anyway, there are some people who like, I don't know, I'm gonna assume it comes from a place of feeling threatened, and so, not threatened physically, but I'm just saying like they think it's gonna harm the movement, and basically that was what my first bullet point said. Basically, when people are out here, basically I'm just gonna carve out where I think I want my brows to be, which I don't know where I want my brows to be yet, but bold decisions, ladies, bold decisions.
Purchase your tracks today.
I'm gonna go over it with this Milani concealer and some white shade. I really didn't even look to see what it was. Oh yeah, that's gonna be cute. That's gonna be very cute. But anyway, basically, if someone in the Black Lives Matter or someone out here protesting or trying to share information and stuff about the, you know, black queer people in terms of Black Lives Matter, people will be like, oh, it's not about that right now, and make it seem, or like, I don't think they're like trying to make it seem, I think they genuinely believe that they're like, that if we acknowledge that, you know, stuff is happening within the black community that is harming people, it somehow takes away from Black Lives Matter. And the whole thing about, or my whole take on Black Lives Matter as an individual, you know, is the thing is, black people, it's not, people are gonna be bad people, you know, bad things are gonna happen, all that. People are gonna die, people are gonna get murdered. I mean, maybe not always, but you know, I'm just talking about in real life. So the whole thing about that is when a white person, you know, gets murdered by police or gets murdered in general, you know, it's a whole investigation. It's a whole, a little white girl goes missing, she's on every poster and milk carton, you know what I mean? But when it comes to black people as a whole, our cases are not taken the same. It's just written off, or you know, it's not taken as important. So that's another, anyway. So and that's another reason why a lot of people will be like, oh, like white people who, or not even just white people, Trump supporters, they try to act like, oh, well, how do you know if that officer was being race motivated or, you know, he was just a bad person? And the thing is, when these officers are murdering people, it doesn't necessarily have to be that they're racist. They could not be racist. They could genuinely just not like this person. The thing is that they feel emboldened in murdering these people on footage, or sometimes not, but you know what I mean, and murdering these people for whatever reason, because they know that even if they do that, even if they beat, brutalize, murder people of marginalized communities, there is a very high chance of people getting away with it. You know, it's a very high chance that I'm gonna do this and maybe I'll catch some flack. You know, maybe I get desk duty for a couple days. Maybe I might even get fired, but I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail, and if I do, it's gonna be a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? And so when you feel that way, it is a symptom of the actual system that you work in teaching you that. The system teaches you that, and the system was built to be that way. And that's why a lot of people are trying to in what is called qualified immunity, which is basically like, you know, it literally is making police officers feel as though they are above a normal citizen, whereas they're like, I'm a police officer and you're a civilian, so that means I don't have to follow the same laws you do, meaning I can murder people and, you know, go about my life as if I'm not a human like everybody else. And so that is a big problem. And so because of that, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're racist or it's that the system does not care about black and brown people, so you're more likely to do it to brown and black people. Or even, I know, like, a lot of people, not a lot of people who are trying to discredit the Black Lives Matter movement are trying to, like, bring up like Tony Tempa, who was murdered by police, and like they mocked him while he was dying and all of that. And what people don't understand is, or even just recently, I don't know if it was yesterday or like sometime this week, a little white boy was murdered by police. A little autistic white boy was murdered by police, and the officer is now claiming self-defense. And the thing is, I mean, hopefully not, but the thing is, officers think, once again, I don't want to say disabled. Well, disabled people are often disabled, or neurodivergent people are a marginalized community. Therefore, the government cares very little about them, especially in comparison to their officers, or, you know, just white citizens, regular white citizens. So because of that, hold on, because see, this is what happens every time I get to talking and then I don't finish my makeup. Hold on. Anyway, what was I saying? Marginalized communities, as they're not valued as much as able-bodied white people in, you know, American society and American government. So because of this, officers are trained, and honestly, even if it's not direct training, like when you're in the police force, they're saying, you know, go kill people in marginalized communities. You're trained by what you see. If you see he just harassed and beat an innocent person of a minority community, he just did it, and we're all gonna go to work the next day and it's gonna be like nothing happened, then you're being trained to believe that that is okay and that is your right to do so. And so because of that, we see what is happening now, or what's been happening forever. Anyway, so because of that, when we talk about all Black Lives Matter, is because, and you know, because a lot of racist people, a lot of bigots want to bring up black on black crime when we're talking about Black Lives Matter. Oh, you guys only care about Black Lives Matter when it's a white person killing them. Mind you, all of these officers that are associated with these deaths of black people in police custody are not white. First of all, when you talk about the people who murdered Freddie Gray, they were black people. Don't let them feed you that lie. We are talking about the system. And so when we talk about the fact, so when they bring up black on black crime, and it's like, first of all, black on black crime it's propaganda. Black people often live around other black people or closely around other black people, just like white people are around people of their same race. The crime is the crime. Whatever community you're in is going to be the community that it often impacts. Just like we don't call, when a school shooting happens and a little white boy murders half his class, we don't call it white on white crime, because it's just the crime. That's the whole thing. No one is, not gonna say no one, never say never, but you know what I mean. 99.9% of the time, black people aren't murdering each other because we're black. You know what I mean? No one's just like,
Purchase your tracks today.
I don't like other black people, let's just go kill them. That's not the tea. So it's a fallacy. And because we know that is something we face as people trying to do the work of reforming this country, sometimes I can understand why when we're talking about black trans women who are being murdered by other black people, sometimes white people, whatever, it can seem like we're going along with that whole black on black crime thing, and that's not the case. The thing is, just like we are fighting for these, we're fighting for Breonna Taylor's murderers to be arrested, because we're not, nothing we can do can bring this lady back. What we can do is get justice for her death. That is what we are fighting for. And the same way we are fighting for that, we are fighting for the officers who killed Tony McDade to be arrested. That's all we're asking for. And so when we say all Black Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter, it's saying, look, we need, they're black people too, because a lot of people act like, oh, that's not what it's about, but that is what it's about. It's about black people being disproportionately murdered by the police. That is what Black Lives Matter was founded for. So when we talk about black trans people, being trans doesn't make you not black, being gay doesn't make you not black, being anything that is and black does not make it, you can't cancel out your blackness. You just can't. Here's the thing. Not only do officers not care about us to the point that they will murder us, officers don't care about us to the point of, if a black trans woman is beaten half to death, hospitalized, all this, they do not care. They're not gonna, it's gonna be very little investigation done. It's gonna be, oh, well, what were you even doing? Da 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 da. It's probably your fault. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's a lot of victim blaming. It's a lot of just lack of care that is gonna be put into the situation, because they're a minority, because they are a black person. And not only do we not care about black people, you're gonna be trans, you're gonna be gay too, and you think we're gonna care about what happened to you? What? No ma'am. That's how they're gonna treat the situation, because it's not our job to be judge and jury. It's not our job to arrest people, da 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 da. But we have to hold the people whose job it is accountable for doing their job. And so when we're saying all Black Lives Matter, we're saying we can't just fight for a certain demographic of black people. If we only fight for one type of black person, we're not gonna get the goal, because the system is not going to change. The system is not going to change. If the system doesn't care about black people, the system is not built to protect black people, then it's not built to protect black people. You know what I mean? Literally their job to protect and do what? Serve. They don't protect, they do not serve black and brown communities, because they do not care. And so, like I said, a lot of people are saying the all Black Lives Matter as, or like, you know, now here's my thing. I do not, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't like, all Black Lives Matter is perfect. Saying queer lives matter, you're trying to take Black Lives Matter and turn it into something else. Saying queer lives matter is literally is doing what White Lives Matter did. Yes, queer lives matter. Yes, y'all are a disproportionate group, but we are talking about Black lives right now, and we're talking about all Black lives right now. So don't like, a lot of queer people have been censoring themselves, and you know, I'm gonna get into that too. Here's what I'm gonna get into. You know, like I said, it's the last day of Pride Month, you know, doing the whole Pride look thing. Pride was created by Black women. Pride was created by Black trans women. Without Marsha P. Johnson, there would be no Pride. The fact that there are racist white gays and y'all still go to Pride, y'all not, is something not computing to y'all? Is something isn't clicking. Every like civil rights movement after, you know, the civil rights movement was inspired heavily by Black people and helped heavily by Black people. That's like another thing. Like, Black women have always been doing the work of securing freedom and justice for everybody, and you know, we don't get that the recognition that we deserve. But I mean, it's really not about that. But the whole thing is, it baffles me. It baffles me how you know what it is? You know what it is? Specifically white, gay, cisgendered men. At the end of the day, they're not feeling, you know, I mean, a lot of times now, like, if you're maybe effeminate or something like that, or like, you know, openly gay, you might get some impression. But if you just live your life and, you know, do your thing, you don't know what it feels like, and you don't care what it feels like, because at the end of the day, you still have all your privilege. You know, the typical a white man, that is the typical what society wants a white man to be, or a man to be, you know, masculine, very well, who lives his life like that and happens to date men, face little to no societal oppression, you know, unless you have empathy for those who actually do. You know, if you see yourself as a part of the community, and that's the thing. Another thing about with Black people, we need to see ourselves as a part of the community, as a part of a community, because we are. The Black community is a community, and we have to stick, like, especially in this time, we need to stick together, because we don't have, like, there's enough targets on our back from everybody else. We don't have time to be trying to, you know, stop somebody else's justice. We don't have time for that. Like, and I know that it stems, I know a lot of things stem from, especially with Black men, it stems from the fact that in this country, we have never been allowed to have, you know, we were never the people of power. We never were, to this day. We were always the oppressed. And so when you are the oppressed, and you know that there are people who have power who are the oppressors, it becomes a part of you that wants to know what it feels like to not be the oppressed. And so whether that comes in the form of upholding the patriarchy, and so I know, I don't know, I'll try to, if I can find a screenshot, I'll put it on here somewhere in a cutaway or something. But there's a couple people who have posts going around talking about, or some people I've just heard say in conversation about how white women and Black men get to have it both ways. You know, they get to be the oppressed and the oppressor. Meaning, white women have to deal with the patriarchy. They have to deal with wage gap and reproductive health and all of that. But they also get to be racist, and they get to stop Black women. They get to oppress Black women and oppress other Black men, and, you know, they get to oppress. But they are still, you know, victims of misogyny and the inherently misogynist country we live in. Black men are still men, so they get to benefit from the patriarchy and then, once again, the misogynist country we live in. But they are still Black, so they have to deal with the dangers of being a Black man in America, and the the trauma that comes along with that. So when you have it both ways, it's inevitable. I'll say that it's inevitable for you to use that. But I think what we need, and I think this is a big thing about black people that I personally am like, love, is that what we're aspiring to? Like, a lot of times somebody will do something and be like, oh, well, that's what white people do. They do that to each other all the time, or they do that to this person all the time. And it's like, are we aspiring to whiteness now? Because last time I checked, that was the problem. They're always doing something. They're always doing something. Yeah, so black men and white women have it both ways, and you know, black women, not so much. The only you know, societal power that black women have is if you're straight, which, I mean, a lot of black women aren't, and so at that point, it's like you're literally, and not literally, because, you know, no, we're all human, but I'm saying in terms of American society, black queer women are the bottom of the barrel. If everyone is trying to oppress someone, and you're the lowest thing, that who are you gonna oppress? I mean, you know, it's no one below you, so we don't get to have that feeling, which, I mean, I think is a good thing, because somebody has to know what it feels like to be the bottom. Somebody has to know what it feels like to just be oppressed, and, you know, not in a perfect society, but I'm talking about in terms of, because somebody has to say, all right, well then, no, we need to do the work to fix this. And that is what black women do, and will continue to do until we get what we deserve. Anyway, just while I was going to say something light, nothing I'm talking about is light, but you know, something while I'm blending this stuff out that I was thinking about in relation to what I was just talking about, you know, finding someone to oppress. These white gays that are, you know, no fats, no femmes, no blacks, no Asians, you know, or just, you know, want to have gay bars with only white people, all that. They're looking for someone to oppress, you know, or, because I'm saying it's not just gay men, it's trans women, it's all that. It's non-binary people, like, you're looking for someone to oppress. And that's a thing we need to change about people's mindsets. That's why I say I understand it for the people who have been you're born into this world with knowing that you are not what this world desires, you know, or at least not for you. Like, black people are desired for entertainment, for sports, for, you know, tokenism, but not just for being. And so when you're, or, you know, trans women, all that, when you are of those communities that, you know, disabled people, you know, this is not what people want. Like, you're not the target audience here. I can understand why you seek some sort of power. A big part of changing the way this country runs is going to be changing the mindset of people, and changing the mindset of people who genuinely feel they need to have some sort of power over people. I'm just over, like, censoring myself on white people. Like, y'all know what I mean. If you don't, like, okay, well, figure it out, love. I'm over it. Thing is, though, and I see, like, a lot of people think, like, oh, well, if you know what it's like to be gay, you know what it's like to be trans and be othered and be da-da-da-da-da, then why would you wanna, they would, like, a lot of people think that based on, like, a lot of people's logic work, that if you know what it is like to be oppressed, then you would not want to make anyone feel that way. But it's the opposite. Think about it. Think about when people get bullied, and then, you know, what do? They try to bully someone else. You try to make someone feel the pain that you felt. Even within the queer community, like, let's say trans women who are passing or whatever, you know, want to talk down on or want to degrade, not always, but you know what I mean, in some instances, want to degrade those who aren't necessarily passing, or want to degrade gay men, because you know that. And when I was younger, I used to think it was crazy. Like, how can you live this experience and want to put someone else down for living their experience? And it's like, because that is the way that our mindsets work. We want someone to feel the pain that we felt. Because for some reason, humans think it is our place to decide whether or not someone gets to live or die. It doesn't make sense. But even if you are, you know, you believe in the death penalty, like, especially like with the Unity, or like, even like, all right, I'm gonna stick to what I'm talking about, but then I'm gonna bring it back. With the Unity situation, people were like, oh, well, she was drunk and she was like driving messed up. I believe she might have hit somebody's car or something like that. And I don't think it wasn't no bad accident, like whatever. So she deserved to get beaten half to death? Is that how we rockin'? Or, oh, you don't like hearing it like that. You don't like hearing it like that? Okay. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, we're saying these people deserve the same rights as everybody else. Meaning, if, I don't care, literally, I do not care if a young black man was, you know, robbing a liquor store, I don't care if he was shooting dice, I don't care what if he was selling coke, you know, I'll bleep it out. But anyway, I don't care what this young man was doing. An officer is not a judge and a jury. We have those things for a reason. Does that not compute to people? Like, you know, because it'll be these American-loving, Trump-supporting, Make America Great Again people that are like, oh, well, he was a criminal. Y'all love America, but y'all don't know what the 3 branches of government are? Y'all don't know about judiciary? Y'all don't know about trials and bail and things of that nature that we have in place? Supposedly, so things like this don't happen. Y'all don't, that's not computing. It'll be the same people who, when we talk about anything else, when I bring up the Constitution, y'all love the Constitution, but don't love that everybody is entitled to a fair jury. Y'all don't remember that part? Y'all don't remember cruel and unusual punishment? Y'all don't remember that? Oh, okay. Some of these people, they think that they are really untouchable, and I'm not talking about in terms of like this won't happen to them. I mean like white people who this probably won't happen to them, but it'll be like, you know, they think they're so smart and they know everything. And then when you bring these things up, like, oh, so you think that, you know, all lives matter and stuff like that, but you don't care about poor people's lives? Oh, you just don't think that's your response. Oh, okay. You know, it's the things that they don't want to. They want to criticize. They want to criticize what everybody else is doing. And this is why, like, even with liberals, leftists, whatever, like activists, you know, I said this to them, like, don't put problems in my face if you're not gonna try and offer solutions. You know, you don't gotta know everything, but try to look something up. Try to be willing to learn, be willing to think about solutions, but don't sit in my face and point out this problem, that problem, this problem, that problem, if you're not also willing to sit here with me and contemplate solutions. You know what I mean? I'm just not that type of person. A lot of Trump supporters and All Lives Matter people do. They offer the issue, the issue. Y'all want to talk about black on black crime, but don't want to talk about black poverty and why black communities are impoverished? And I offer the same arguments to any oppressor. You want to talk about Black Lives Matter, but you don't want to highlight the fact Tony McDade was murdered. They haven't released the officer's name. These people could still be on the beat, whatever you want to call it, you know, pacing up and down your corners, ready to come for you next. Cause that's the language. When you know, the language of the oppressor is highlighting when it matters to them. When it matters to them. So, Black men, you know, you don't care about when an officer kills a Black trans woman, right? But you do know, if we just let it go, this officer continues to go to work. Y'all live in the same neighborhood. You telling me you immune? You telling me this officer who could have been in jail, you know, could at least been suspended from the job because you didn't want to get out there and support no transgender, you know, you didn't want to stand up for that. Now he's still at work, no charges pressed, no investigation. And now he sees you, someone else who he could get away with it with. He got away with it once. What makes you think you're special? That's what really bothers me. What makes you think you are special? A lot of white people, oh, if George Floyd was white, there would be no riots for him. Why aren't y'all rioting for when it but then y'all want to bring up white people when it's to discredit black lives instead of just fighting for, or at least spreading the information. Because I guarantee you, everybody I know, all the activists, all the people out here doing the work that I know, has been posting about and I'll even put the flyer in my video about this young white boy who was just murdered because Black people understand, or not all Black people, but you know, the people doing the work understand this is a system issue. And if we're allowing schizophrenic and autistic and people, you know, to get a 6-year-old little boy was murdered, and it's acceptable for an officer to claim self-defense against a 6-year-old. That's a baby. You want to defend, I mean, you know, we don't want anything bad to happen to these people. But geez, like you're gonna kill him?
Purchase your tracks.
Like not detain, not hold down, not hit, you know, not that I wanted no baby to be hit, but at least he would see, you know, make it home that night. But no, they do not care. And if they don't care and we don't care, why would something change? Things don't change by happenstance. They don't change by happenstance. And I think a lot of people don't get that, and it's baffling to me how they don't, you know. But you know, I'm probably gonna speed this part up because I gotta focus. Because if this eyeliner messes up my look, do you see this? Okay, actually, it doesn't look that good on camera, but in real life, I'm not gonna, like, it actually does look good. Like, I promise you. Like, and if this messes up my look, electric chair. yeah, I'm gonna go put on lashes, lips, do this hair, maybe change the shirt, you know, put on a look. BRB for the final results. Okay, so I'm back. I'm sorry if you can hear the rain, but I am not a weatherman. Do y'all see the vision? Do y'all see the look? Do y'all, yeah. First of all, filler who?
Tracks today.
Imagine learning. Okay, maybe it doesn't look as good as I thought it did, but it looks much better than when I've tried to overline before. First of all, look at that blue. There's something about that blue that just catches your eye. It just catches your eye. You know what? I'm not even gonna make this too long because I talk a lot anyway. But I just want to say, thank you. Yeah, she's a little messy, so what? I just want to say thank you all for watching and subscribe. I'm sorry, I look white. Let's focus and let's, baby. You see that? That's trifling. There we go. It is what it is. Actually though, I do want to bronze my forehead some more because like it's summer and tan is my middle name. See, it just don't show up on camera, but like I swear I'm not a white face. In fact, no, I got sunburn. I don't know how to. I don't know what to do here. Okay, that's not. Okay, this is more like, okay, but like even for this angle, do you, I feel very accomplished. I feel beautiful. I feel amazing. Look at my hair. Okay, because I want it to be kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Look at my nose. First of all, what nose? She cannot breathe. Rhinoplasty. Yeah, thank you all for watching. All Black Lives Matter all the time. No justice, no peace. Stop tone policing. Justice for Tony McDade. Pride would not exist without Black women. And that's it. So Black Lives Matter would not exist without Black women. So subscribe if you are not already. I need to be on top of saying that. I didn't say that ever today. But subscribe, like this video, comment anything you have to say. Don't be shy. I don't bite, but I do heart comments. Like, come on now. Follow me on Instagram so you can see the looks that come out of this. First of all, isn't this cute? Like me doing this, like, oh my god, like, I feel real. I feel real. Like this is very real to me. All right, bye, you guys.